If you're a fan of Injustice, The Boys, and Invincible, you are definitely going to love this video. Because this video takes place in a world almost identical to the worlds of Invincible, DC, Marvel. But in this world, something terrible happens. Something terrible enough to push a hero to his darkest point. Welcome to my YouTube channel, where we talk about comic books and stuff. And this is Minor Threats, Issue 1. We begin our story with the little origin story about the supervillainess, Playtime. You see, she has the ability, or rather she has the talent, of weaponizing toys. And her toys can be cute and cuddly, but very, very dangerous. She was the daughter and sidekick to a very, very dangerous villain called the Toy Queen. Seems like she had the same abilities as well. But those were the glory days. The days before the insomnia came into her life. Right now, it's been a few years in the future, and she was a bartender. But just not any bar. This was a bar for supervillains, D-rank supervillains. This was a horrible job. And one day, a supervillain called Brain Teaser came into the bar and wanted to hang up his next achievement on the wall. There was no space, however, so she made the choice to take down one of her posters with her and her mother. This moment gave us an insight into her life right now because she was the joke of the supervillain world. You see, she was stopped, but not just by any random superhero. She was stopped by the cops, and that is a big no-no in the supervillain community. Once you're stopped by the cops, you lose all your respect. Nobody took her seriously anymore. Even at the bar, people were talking to her crazy, and her second instinct was to cause mayhem, butcher everyone that's been talking crazy to her, but she was trying to walk the straight and narrow. We are also introduced to a character called Pigeon Pete. He was a D-rank supervillain as well, but he was there for her and her mother, so she always treated him nice. But the night was about to turn sour, because at that moment, someone came into the bar, dripping of blood. He screamed at the top of his lungs, "Help, now, or I will kill everybody in this bar." But Playtime was on parole. She simply asked him, "Please, I can't have anyone dying in this bar." But he screamed to Scallop at the bar, "Save him now." And she said, "Nah, G, I'm on break." But she failed to comprehend he wasn't asking. He was straight up going to kill everybody sitting here. So she said, "All right, what happened to him?" And what came next was shocking to everyone. Insomniac. That was their version of Batman. Apparently, he beat this guy to the verge of death so badly it was incomprehensible to everyone sitting here, because Insomniac never hurts. At least never hurts this bad. Even the doctor thought it was impossible. I fought Insomniac a lot of times. He doesn't go to this lengths. These strikes were kill strikes. She looked at him and asked him, "What the hell did you do?" And he said nothing. He came out of nowhere. And at that moment, the news came on, and they saw why Insomniac did this. You see, Insomniac's sidekick was killed, but not just killed. His corpse was desecrated. The body of a young sidekick was put on display, hanging from a helicopter for the world to see. Stickman had done this. Stickman had crossed the line. And to everyone's surprise, this was going to affect the supervillain community drastically, because right outside, the most powerful being in this universe was making an announcement. The searcher demanded, "If any of you know the location of the Stickman, come forward." But nobody was going to snitch. This was the Stickman. He was basically this universe's Joker. While all this was going on, Playtime was having a flashback to 2 weeks ago when she was still in jail before she got out. You see, the life of a supervillainess after prison is terrible. They had to find a place to work. No one was going to hire them. They had to find a place to live. No one would let them stay. Those who would want to use them for dangerous things. It was so frustrating, she almost fell back into a habit of killing everyone who pissed her off. So she decided to ask her mother, and her mother was an ex-supervillain. She obviously wanted her to commit crime. Matter of fact, she was disappointed that she wasn't. But her daughter simply replied, "I have a kid now, mother. I cannot do that to her. I am not you." She was here to ask for money, and her mother told her straight up, "Go rob a bank." When she said no, her mother said, "Okay, I have a friend that needs a bartender, and that is how she got this job. Her and her mother have been inseparable her whole life. They were kindred spirits. She even recalled the first time her mother showed fear, and that was during a supervillain meetup. You see, they had a meeting, and instantly her mother came running out, saying no, he is about to cross a line. And when she turned back, she saw his face. The face of Stickman. The face of a literal devil. Back in the present though, the world had turned to shit. The superheroes were on a rampage, trying to find Stickman with all of their might, scared for their friend Insomniac, because they knew he was very close to killing every single person in his path. It got so bad, the supervillains were actively hiding, and once they were caught, the heroes showed no mercy. They beat them down, drawing blood. It was a terrible time to be a supervillain, but the only joy she ever had was her child. She tried to leave a toy for her, but her ex was not having it. Leave. We don't want your kind around. But the sight of her daughter made her smile. She hadn't seen her in so long, and she wanted to give her a hug. But before she could, she was lifted up to the sky. A superhero wanted to question her on Stickman's location, but she didn't know. This was terrible. Not right now. My child is watching. So the hero put her back down. But the damage was done. She had already brought tears to the eyes of her child. Her ex simply said, look at what you've done. Just leave. This is not the best time to be a mother. You failed at that already. This was her dark day. Even worse than the day she was caught by Insomniac and Kid Dusk, hanging by the pole for the cops to find. She had to do something. This could not keep happening. So she went back to the bar. All around her, the business affairs of every supervillain was being affected by this. Even the doctor had lost 2 clinics in one day. She called everyone's attention and gave a big speech about this is not how it should be. A line has been crossed, and because of that, the superheroes are running out of control. Something has to change. Something has to give. And I think we are in the best position to help rectify this situation. As supervillains, we are willing to go to places the heroes will not, do things the heroes would not. We will find Stickman ourselves, and we will end him once and for all. And I want to give a big shout out to all my subscribers for watching my videos for this long. I know we have had some hiccups, but I'm here to stay. I hope you are too. Let's go.